looking at those images of the president's bodyguard, the oldest regiment of the Indian Army that is now lining up. We are also looking at images of the External Affairs Minister and the Commerce Minister in conversation with President Draupadi Murmu. Two very, very important ministers right now, Maria, on the foreign policy front, both engaging, one with the United States of America on the trade deal, the other with the entire world keeping India first.
Absolutely, and as we have been speaking about how strategic this partnership is, how crucial and historic this partnership is, any moment now, President Putin will be arriving in the forecourts of the Rashtrapati Bhavan for that Guard of Honor ceremony. Here he is. That is, in fact, those are the visuals coming in. Any moment now, those visuals will come in. Milan, who's been reporting from outside ITC Moria, has sent us this report.
See these vehicles, they are entering through Kartavya Path towards Rashtrapati Bhavan, and then he will be received by the Prime Minister, Rashtrapati, and all the other dignitaries who are already waiting there for President Putin. So these are the first images of the carcade when President Putin is now entering Rashtrapati Bhavan, where the formal engagement, the first engagement of the day, is starting now with this trial.
In fact, so the visuals now coming in of the ceremonial reception of Vladimir Putin,
which is set to begin in just a moment. They're climbing the Raisina Hill just as yet as we see in these images, and then the president's cavalcade. The two images that we see, one, the cavalcade going up the Raisina Hill. The second, Maria, which promises to be extremely magnificent, is the forecourt of the Rashtrapati Bhavan when that cavalcade comes in, Maria.
Absolutely. Look at those visuals. In fact, the Russian embassy in India has also tweeted already, and they are saying that how crucial and significant this trip of the Prime Minister, of the President is. They are speaking about the ceremonial reception for Vladimir Putin, which is led by President of India, Draupadi Murmu, and Prime Minister, which is taking place right now, will begin any moment now as President Putin's cavalcade arrives at the Rashtrapati Bhavan's forecourt. He will be welcomed by President of India, President Draupadi Murmu, Prime Minister, and key cabinet colleagues who are, in fact, in attendance, will be part of the bilaterals and the summit level meetings which will be taking place. Prime Minister Modi, in fact, in conversation right now with Dr. S. Jaishankar, and also speaking to the Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal. They're waiting for President Putin, who will be arriving any moment now. And all eyes will be, particularly now after this, will be shifting to what will happen at Hyderabad House. That's where the bilaterals will be taking place. We have been speaking about the size of this business delegation. It's 100-member delegation traveling with President Putin. They're not just looking at gas and oil, they are looking at future areas of cooperation, including agriculture, including pharmaceuticals and IT.
Greater access for Indian goods to the Russian market. That is something which is extremely significant. What India is working at is Indian pharmacies, Indian pharmaceuticals should have more access, Indian healthcare sector. The Health Minister of Russia is also in India, and he's met the Health Minister of India, JP Nadda. The conversation is also about setting up hospitals in the Russian Far East, while Moscow, St. Petersburg, several big cities have great hospitals. It's in far-flung areas that they want additional hospitals, they want additional healthcare facilities. So, when we were reporting from Moscow during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's last visit, the Russian Health Ministry was very keen to figure out whether Indian healthcare can play a bigger role. And there you see the President and the Prime Minister now walking to the forecourt of the Rashtrapati Bhavan to receive President Vladimir Putin. It's all minute to minute. Just as information on the radio telephony or the wireless set comes in, that the Russian President's cavalcade is now crossing the Raisina Hill and will be entering from the central gate of the Rashtrapati Bhavan, which is only on ceremonial occasions. So watch these images. very, very impressive images of the forecourt of the Rashtrapati Bhavan, the president's bodyguard, the oldest regiment of the Indian Army, 1776. 1773 was when they were established as the Viceroy's bodyguards, then the Governor General's bodyguard. Each soldier at least 6 feet tall. They're all cavalry men. They're all tank men. Each lance that they carry is aimed right now ceremonially. Otherwise, these are soldiers who, or tankmen who are excellent on their T-90 Bhishma and T-72, incidentally, both Russian origin tanks.
Remember, Prime Minister Modi has often called President Putin a dear friend. And that's not empty rhetoric, viewers, because India and Russia share a chemistry that predates both these leaders, a legacy of defense.